Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Let's hope that this works out. I don't know why I'm getting an error message. Let me know if you can hear me and see me all right. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. We have a lot to talk about. And I believe it's working all right. So, let's continue. The articles of impeachment are going to be sent. Mitch McConnell won. Nancy Pelosi lost. President Zelensky stated there was no quid pro quo. There was no quid pro quo. There's no leverage. There's no nothing. Thank you, RKH526. Thank you. There's no direct evidence of anything. They don't have anything. They have correlation. They have the maxim correlation does not equal causation, which is what they've used time and again for their controversies. When it has to do with Madam Secretary, correlation should not equal causation. I mean, everything that's, fishy and you can't connect the dots on the left because, well, I mean, that doesn't mean, if hundreds of millions and billions of dollars flow into a philanthropic organization and beneficial treatment takes place for those who give the money, you can't. There's no way that you can. There's no way at all that you can say, well, that was because of some kind of bribe. No. If it's on the left, correlation never equals causation. Never. But if Trump speaks to President Zelensky, and President Zelensky and President Poroshenko, the two leaders of Ukraine, state there's no leverage at all, everything's fine, the conversations were above board. No. They're actually stating that just because, because they have to be good with Trump. They don't really mean that, And just look at the timing. This is an entire year before the election. And obviously he's worried about the No Malarkey bus tour, right? Because it's not going to be Clinton. It definitely won't be Clinton, right? Of course it's going to be Clinton. Clinton will be the nominee. I don't care how it's going to happen, but she'll be the nominee. So, she'll be the nominee. But Biden, the notion that Trump is, first of all of this is predicated upon Trump being afraid of Biden. That is absurd. Nobody's afraid of Biden. Nobody's afraid of Biden. I think Bernie is like number one in Iowa. They're cheating him as we speak. But nobody's afraid of Biden at all. So let's just read this really quickly. So Trump is not afraid of Biden, number one. He's not afraid of any Democrat, not even Clinton, who will become nominee. Number two, there are reasons to investigate Biden, or at least why he fired a prosecutor. You cannot simply fire. You can't simply force out another government official in another country because your son was on the board of directors of a potentially corrupt energy corporation. Now, the correlation is never causation there. Notice that. Notice that the timing there. Nobody talks about the timing or the bizarre connecting of the dots. Well, wait a second. Biden actually forced out a prosecutor that was looking into the corporation funneling millions, about $3.4 million by one estimate, into his son's accounts. Oh, well, that's okay, don't you understand? There's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong there. That's just okay. But here, this is the Washington Post. The weak Democrats lost the battle over the Senate trial. Congress returned from the holidays this week to uncertainty over what happens next in President Trump's impeachment. Would House Speaker Nancy Pelosi hand over the articles of impeachment? She's been holding on since December, so a Senate trial could begin. Or would a battle over whether to call witnesses continue indefinitely? Well, it was never really a battle. It was never really a battle. Mitch McConnell actually didn't care. It actually would have benefited Trump immeasurably. It would have benefited Trump immeasurably if they had if they had kept the articles of impeachment. That would have been hilarious. That would have really been hilarious. Because then they would have started the Senate trial without the articles of impeachment and acquitted Trump without the articles of impeachment, which would have been absolutely hilarious. But here, by the end of the week, we have a clearer picture. The Senate trial could begin as soon as next week. Fantastic. After Republicans refuse to negotiate over witnesses. I love this. After Republicans refuse to negotiate over witnesses. No, Republicans, that's actually called negotiation. When you refuse to negotiate, that's a negotiating tactic. That's interesting. They're like, oh, you refuse to even talk about it. Yeah, because guess what? He didn't have to. Nancy, guess what? I'm not even going to talk to you about it. No, I can't hear you. Pelosi announced that she would start the process to hand over the... I love this. Oh, my God, I love this. After Republicans refused to negotiate over witnesses, Pelosi announced that she would start the process to hand over the articles of impeachment. It's like after the customer refused to adhere to the ranting and ravings of the used car salesman, the customer unfairly stormed out of the used car lot. How short-sighted of that customer. It's like, no. They lost the sale, and it was the customer who won. There still could be witnesses, but only if 4 Republicans join with all Democrats later in the trial and vote to have them. So you can see, how, hello, Christ Light. Yes, she is running, absolutely. Clinton will be nominee, everybody. You just watch. Nobody believed me in 2015 when I said Clinton was going to lose. She lost. Now I'm telling you she's going to lose again, but she'll be the nominee. Here's how we got here, as told this week in quotes from key players. Monday, quote, since my testimony is once again at issue, I have had to resolve the serious competing issues as best I could. Based on careful consideration and study, I've concluded that if the Senate issues a subpoena for my testimony, I'm prepared to testify. That's John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor. Even now, nobody really wants Bolton. He's like, I'm here if you want me. If you want me, I'm here. I haven't been asked to testify yet, but you just let me know. You know, I have a lot of important things. I'm a very important person. I am very important. You have no idea how important I am. Okay? The fact that the House of Representatives didn't ask me to testify, that's just a procedural issue. I'm a very, very important man. If you want me to testify, I will. Just letting you know I'm here. Okay? Just letting you know that I'm here. Just if you ask, I'm here. Anytime. No, they haven't subpoenaed me yet, but if you want to, call me. He's not getting the hint that they probably don't even want him, because they know it's going to be they know at the end of the day it's not going to be a good testimony. But they haven't even gotten his testimony yet. Okay, Bolton's testimony yet. They haven't even gotten Bolton's testimony yet. All right, but he's just pretending that he's really important. Okay, so then the other one, glaringly, I can actually do a Chuck Schumer that I haven't. Glaringly, the Republican leader has yet to make a single argument why witnesses should not testify. One single argument. I'm waiting to hear Leader McConnell give a specific answer why these witnesses should not come forward. That's Senate Democratic leader Charles E. Schumer. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because of the things you said during the Clinton trial in the 90s. Maybe that's why. In response, aside from the fact that he doesn't need to, he runs the Senate. Democrats are like, wait a second, give us a reason. We run the Senate. You can do what you like in the House. You already impeached Trump, so, you already impeached Trump. Luke St. Martin, hello. Eric H526, hello. So, and then, like, even though a majority of Americans think Trump should let his top aides testify, yeah, well, also, the majority of swing state voters and independents don't want to remove him, so what's the problem? We have the votes. That's McConnell explaining that he has the support of the majority of Republican senators to start a trial without an agreement on witnesses. It's a major moment for him, and it signals to Democrats that their pressure campaign isn't working. Well, yeah. The pressure campaign, there is no pressure campaign. The pressure campaign's on them. There's never been a moment where McConnell felt pressure. He's always been like, you can give me the articles of impeachment. Never. How's that? In fact, it's better for us if you don't give it to us. McConnell and Trump benefit from not getting the articles of impeachment. They benefit in a profound way. So, it's never been, this whole thing has never been about, there's never been any leverage over, Democrats in the Senate have never had leverage over Republicans because Republicans run the Senate. They just think they do because they have the media. So here, Mitt Romney, I'd like to hear from John Bolton. Oh, gee, you would. And other witnesses with the right information, but that process will accommodate that. Okay, so of course Mitt Romney wants to hear from Romney's interesting. He's playing this game. Oh my God, because he thinks like, you know what? I'll just run for president in 2024, and people will vote for me because I'm a good Republican. That's Senator Mitt Romney, the only Republican senator so far who has said he wants to hear from Trump's former national security advisor. So two others, Susan Collins. So that's funny. He's the only one who wants to hear from Bolton, and yet there's nothing that Bolton has nothing. Carl's opinion. Good evening, Mr. Goodman, mods in chat. Pelosi looked even more frustrated on Thursday during her press conference when she was caving on the articles of impeachment. Oh, Carl and Cartman. Carl's opinion, yes. You know what's really interesting, Carl? And thank you so much for your generosity. Always, Carl's opinion. Always, thank you. Carl, the interesting thing is that they finally admitted. They finally admitted that they don't have any pressure, that they cannot pressure Mitch McConnell. And they finally admitted, like, this is another defeat for them, just like impeachment in the House. This is another defeat that they've spun into some kind of, maybe not victory, but like they still haven't, they have not accepted that this is a political defeat. So, Carl, it's really interesting. Everybody, they have not accepted that this is a political defeat. They think that it's like, well, the Republicans refuse to negotiate. And really, it's their short-sightedness and their stubbornness. It's like, well, yeah, it's called politics, and you had your chance in the House to prove a case. You didn't. And swing state voters and independents are against impeachment, against removal. So, exactly, Carl, it's really interesting, too. Annabelle 31458, thank you very much, Annabelle 31458, as always. Thank you for watching. I hope all is well. Hope you're doing great on this Friday evening. Thank you. Thank you, as always. Thank you, Annabelle 31458. Carl, Annabelle 31458, everybody, they still cannot admit defeat. They will never admit defeat. Do you understand when they lose again? Do you understand when they lose again next November, or this November? They are going to say it was because of Martians from Jupiter or Saturn that came down. Actually, there's life forms, extraterrestrials, ET, and that was the reason why. They will never accept defeat, ever, ever. You understand? You're dealing with people who are the narcissists. These are the biggest narcissists, and we all know them. We all have friends and family and co-workers, the biggest egotistical narcissists, self-absorbed, self-righteous people who are like, oh, you know what, you like Trump for, it's because of a problem you have. No, it's not. No, it's not. The process is not only unfair, but designed to deprive senators and the American people of crucial documents and testimony, Pelosi writes in a letter to her colleagues. Yeah, right. The process is a process that you knew was... See, this is the thing. They already know what the process is like. They already know what the... Exactly, Eric H526. They'll blame everyone but themselves. Exactly, Eric H526. Eric H526 has some brilliant lines if you watch what he says. Thank you, Eric H526. Yes, they'll blame everyone but themselves. Exactly. There will be no haggling with the... Oh, this is McConnell. There will be no haggling with the House over the Senate procedure. We will not cede our authority to try this impeachment. The House Democrats' turn is over. The Senate has made its decision. McConnell, a little more firm than before. And so these are all the quotes from different people throughout the week. And then Dianne Feinstein, the longer it goes on, the less urgent it becomes. So this is great. That's actually very true. Dianne Feinstein, she's had like enough. She's like, oh my God, Pelosi again. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of the Pelosi. With the Pelosi, not the most. The Pelosi that isn't the most. The longer it goes, the less urgent it becomes. And if it's serious and urgent, send them over. If it isn't, don't send it over. Wow. That has to be the best line of all time. Senator Feinstein, a Pelosi ally and a senator, remarks widely seen as the bottom falling out for Pelosi. This is... They're like, he's committed so many crimes, Trump. The crimes he's committed, you have no idea. You have no idea the crimes that he's committed. Are you gonna send them over? What? Robert the Bruce. Do you think there are more former leftists like you who will vote for Trump in 2020? What do you think the overall turnout will be in 2020? Robert the Bruce, I can assure you that there are a great many. Not many have the personality that I have, which is open and very happy, very proud that I'm voting for Trump. Please, let everybody know. Robert the Bruce, nobody wants to be called a Trump supporter. It is the most vile insult on the left. It is the most demeaning, insulting, vile thing you could say to anyone on the left. Anyone on the left. So they don't want to be known as a Trump supporter. So there are going to be a great many who will vote for Trump because they've had enough. They know at the end of the day he's a good president. Okay? That's what it comes down to. He's a good president, Robert the Bruce. And in their heart of hearts, they know this because the economy is great. So they might not like, he removed protections for, wildlife. At the end of the day, though, they know that there's record low unemployment. The stock market is up. The poverty has decreased by 5 million people. So, and what do you think the overall turnout will be in 2020? It'll be Trump versus Clinton, and we'll have the highest turnout of all time, and Trump will win. And I actually think there's a chance he could get the popular vote. It ain't going to be... I'm just so annoyed by all of this. This whole, Clinton's just taking her time. Madam Secretary has to make everything, this big charade. Meanwhile, Bernie might win Iowa. If Bernie wins Iowa, Clinton is still running, but they're going to find a really creative way to cheat Bernie. I mean, they'll fabricate a scandal. Okay, you mark my words. They will fabricate a controversy around Bernie. Bernard Sanders? He did what? No, wait a second. He did what? Oh, my God. God. He did what? He did that? We didn't know this. Wait a second. Clinton, it's all... No, he couldn't have done that. He did. Oh, how is Madam Secretary supposed to know? Okay, everything's a big, Okay, no, we can't have Bernard Sanders. Okay, President Obama was right about this. No, Bernie Sanders. No, look, I liked Bernie, but look what he did, and that's it. No. So I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to do something. They will not let Bernie Sanders win. Okay, and if Bernie, it won't be. But it won't be. It'll be Clinton versus Trump. But they're going to find some way. And I'm voting Trump, no matter, let's just say in an alternate universe, Bernie Sanders versus Trump, I'm voting Trump 100%. I'm not voting for anyone who would ever promote intelligence community nonsense. Complete fabricated farce of the whole Russia, Trump worked with Russia hoax, okay? Which is so easily, completely undermined and debunked. But anyway, even the intelligence community is like, we're confident. It's okay, roll with it. But it's going to be Clinton versus Trump again. Okay, I'm not delaying indefinitely. I'll send them over when I'm ready. And that will probably be soon. That's Pelosi. And then Friday. Quote, I've asked the Judiciary Committee, Jerry Nadler, to prepare to bring to the floor next week a resolution to appoint managers to transmit articles to impeachment to the Senate. I will be consulting with you at our Tuesday House Democratic meeting on how we proceed further. So, there you go. It's about time. McConnell asked when asked by a reporter. Okay, so, there you go. There you go. They lost big time with all of this. They really did. They lost with this. They lost with this. They tried their best. But it didn't work out. They tried their best. It didn't work out. They're trying again. They're going to have the Senate trial. It still isn't going to work. And look, that's The Senate trial is going to be interesting because they're going to try to make it into a spectacle. And at the end of the day, this is actually where Trump and the White House and McConnell can defend the president or the presidency. This is where they can defend the presidency. I mean, it's not a good situation for Democrats. It really isn't. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting that they lost this round, by the way. They lost this round. They lost this round, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's see. Senate trial. Yeah, Associated Press. Pelosi sends impeachment to Senate for historic trial. Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the House will take steps next week to transmit the articles of impeachment against President Trump, ending a 3-week standoff, but confronting the Senate with only the third trial in U.S. history to remove a chief executive based on nothing. Based on absolutely nothing. In a letter to her Democratic colleagues, Pelosi said Friday she was proud of their courage and patriotism. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So, In an impeachment trial, every senator takes an oath to do impartial justice according to constitutional laws. Well, actually, that's true. If it's impartial, Trump will be vindicated beyond belief. If it's partial, then he'll be removed. He won't be removed. They don't have the votes, but I love how they view impartiality as trying to convey some kind of guilt that Trump is guilty. They view impartiality as, well, if you have to be impartial, you promise to be impartial. Well, none of the Debbie Wasserman Schultz was never impartial. So here, fears of Sanders' win growing among Democratic establishment. What did I say? They're going to cheat Bernie again. And still, people are going to be told to fall in line. Here, let me just read this. Des Moines, increasingly alarmed that Bernie Sanders could become their party's president. He won't be. It'll be Clinton. Establishment-minded Democrats are warning primary voters that the self-described Democratic Socialist would struggle to defeat President Trump and hurt the party's chances. He would have defeated Trump in 2016. Thank God he didn't. Thank God Trump was elected president, because Bernie would be an extension of Max Boot and Bill Kristol and James Comey. He couldn't even go up against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. He wouldn't be able to go up against them. He wasn't even really backing Trump's withdrawal. He has to be an orderly withdrawal. Oh yeah, Clinton worked against Russia and Trump, so he just promoted the same nonsense that they used to try to take him down. He never said that he was cheated. I mean, the thing is, it's basically a cult, and Bernie is part of it. It's not like he's not a threat to the system. The system is using him to get people to vote for the Democratic nominee, who will be Clinton. The urgent warnings come as Sanders show new signs of strength on the ground in the first two states of the presidential primary calendar, Iowa and New Hampshire, backed by a dominant. Yeah, but he has like 0% in South Carolina and other places. So it'll be interesting. Like if he wins, it'll be interesting if he wins Iowa, how they'll cheat him. The Vermont senator has largely escaped close scrutiny over the last year as his rivals doubted the quirky 78-year-old's, this is the Associated Press, the quirky 78-year-old's ability. I love it. Not that I care, but only media would do this. They would never call, Madam Secretary quirky, but. But less than a month before Iowa's kickoff, the doubters are being forced to take Sanders seriously. He raised more money than any other candidate, so it's interesting. President Obama stated that he would stop Bernie. Former Chicago mayor, previous aide to President Obama, warned Democrats that Sanders' status as a Democratic socialist and his unwavering support for Medicare for all won't play well among swing states. It's true, but it's not just the Medicare for all. It's the issue of how to. It's explaining exactly how to pay for it. That's the issue. Theresa King. I think Pelosi will retire when Trump is reelected this November. Possibly. Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on one second. All right, let's see. Oh, my God. Hold on one second, people. Of course, mate. All right, just 1 second, everybody. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, there was a glitch right here. Hopefully, can you still hear and see me? There was a little bit of a glitch to where all right, let's see. Oh, missed a super chat from Sandiford. Okay. Theresa King, that's true. Sandiford, I did not see. Oh, Pilgrim Driver. How nuts is 2020 going to be? Very much so. Very, very, very interesting. Pilgrim Driver, thank you. Sanderford! I've seen Cardwick's with better planning and coordination than the House's so-called impeachment process. Sanderford, thank you. Thank you. You know, that's true. It's true. They just don't have anything at all. They don't have anything. They don't have anything at all. The House never had anything. The House never had anything. They just, the whole thing is media driven. So they say, well, you know what? It happened. There's correlation. It's causation. Correlation equals causation. How do we know? Because a whole bunch of diplomats were, without evidence, who disagree with Trump politically, stated that it happened. Well, that's not enough to say that something happened. That's not enough to prove that Trump withheld military assistance, not to ensure that the money went to the government and not corrupt individuals, but because he was worried about Biden. By the way, if you check my segments today, I'm the only person on the planet with a No Malarkey shirt, so you can check that out. It's the only time you'll ever see a No Malarkey shirt. So check that out. But here, let's see. Okay, the trial could begin next week. The Constitution gives the House the sole power to impeach a president, but the Senate the ability to render a verdict when it convenes at the court of impeachment. So when they don't remove Trump, could you imagine? Like, when they don't remove President Trump, that will be a monumental defeat. It'll be a monumental defeat for Democrats. They're going to spin it. They're going to spin it in some way. Nice. Pilgrim Driver just got back photographing. Wow. Those photographs must be awesome. Pilgrim Driver, very awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So let's just see here. Let's see. Senate trial. When will the Senate trial start and how long will it last? All right. This is NBC News. So there's a chance the proceedings could be taking place at the same time Democrats in Iowa are voting on who they want to replace the president. Wow. This doesn't help Madam Secretary at all. No. Okay, the developments on Friday could put the start date of arguments in the Senate trial of President Donald Trump around January 21st. Wow, after the Martin Luther King holiday the day before. And that raises the possibility the trial may not be over until the real kickoff of the 2020 presidential primary on Monday, February 3rd at Iowa. So what does that mean for the Senate and for Trump? On January 21st, Trump is expected to be in Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum annual meeting. It's possible the White House may ask for more prep time to get ready for the trial. I don't think so. I think they're ready. The expectation is that it would take some time for opening arguments in the trial to begin once the House transmits the impeachment to the Senate, which could happen next week. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi indicated on Friday. In 1999, during Bill Clinton's impeachment, there were 8 days between when the Senate received the articles and when arguments began. All right, so there you go. So, Carl's opinion. Boot Crystal Rhodes, that's right. Rice, Powers, Clapper, Brennan. Obama was afraid to take them on and played ball. That's why anti-war candidate Obama became president, who went into Libya. That's right. Trump is not afraid of them. Exactly. And there's also, Carl, thank you. There's also this notion that you have to have a consensus with these kind of foreign policy hawks. You don't need a consensus from any of them. Carl. Having a consensus with people who don't know what they're talking about only gets you in a really bad situation. Carl, you're 100% right. Sanderford! The problem Sanders would have in 2020 is left-wing populism only works when times are bad. Exactly. The economy is growing at insane levels. Exactly. Our enemies fear us, our allies respect us. He has no real opening. Exactly. 2016 was a time for populism. Exactly. 2016, Sanderford, was a time for populism. Not when there's record low unemployment and poverty and 5 million plus people lifted out of poverty. Carl's opinion, Sanderford. Bucolic Buffalo! H.A. Goodman, morning, sir. Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo. Thank you very much. Hope all is well. Hope you're having a great Friday or going into Saturday or Saturday morning. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo. Thank you. Yeah, Sanderford, that's true. There is no... You can't... Bernie's message resonated in 2016. Not now. And Carl's opinion... These people will never admit they're wrong, just like most Democrats. It's interesting. It's interesting too that the same people who were wrong all the time. No, Pilgrim Driver. It is not binding. The same people who were wrong continuously, and not just wrong. I mean, they have lives that have been lost on their hands. Okay. Like, I can say, Comey's going to indict Clinton, and when it doesn't happen and we see that it was a complete cover-up, I'll have the pulse of what was going on, but I don't have, I didn't negatively impact lives. When you have people like neoconservative foreign policy hawks, they're writing their thoughts, they're writing their thoughts are utilized to send Americans into counterinsurgency conflict and to keep them there forever. So, I mean, that is Carl's opinion. That is something that I've written against that. So none of my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, the Daily Caller, my writing has never negatively impacted, tens of thousands of people. The writing of people who pushed for never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, whether it's, people like Bill Kristol or Max Boot, or these people have pushed for interventions, military conflict, under the guise of, national security or a better world. The repercussions of their ideas, the consequences of their beliefs and their ideas have never negatively impacted the world. So, Carl's opinion, you make a great point. And Sanderford, you're 100% right. None of this, ladies and gentlemen, none of this is just organic and not by design. None of this. You watch. There will be a a controversy regarding Bernie Sanders. They're going to bring up that whatever he wrote a couple years back. Now, I feel bad about this, that they'll do this to him, but at the same time, he made his bed. He didn't fight the system. Okay, so Bernie, hold on one second. Essay. So I'm not gonna actually use the words, but he wrote an essay, and this is what they'll do. And Mother Jones, look at Mother Jones, same publication who had a journalist be very involved with the Steele dossier. Mother Jones dug up a 1972 essay. Wow, I'm actually reading this right now. This is just one of a couple things that'll do him in. Once Democrats sink their repulsive teeth into the poor guy. I'm not going to read this to you. You know what? I'll read this in H.A. Goodman's other channel. Actually, I won't read it. I won't read it on H.A. Goodman's other channel. This is what they're going to do to him. You know what? I'll just say that I'll do a segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel about how they're going to try to harm Bernie Sanders, because they will. Oh, wow, I'm reading this right now. You definitely can't read this on YouTube. Definitely not on a live stream. Wow. So, Madge Mac, the DWS re-entered. Will DWS re-enter this, and will Bernie defend her honor? Will Bernie's plan to deploy super soldiers be discovered? DWS, there'll probably be a new Tom Perez will probably be the new DWS, Madge Mac, and it'll be interesting to see how they try to just destroy his campaign. It's not going to... As a Trump supporter, you're immune to all of this. Mostly everyone here who's watching is immune to all of this. I'm immune to all of this, but it ain't going to be fun on the left, I can tell you. It ain't going to be fun at all. Quantum football! What do you think if Bolton did testify? I just don't trust enough people to not believe the media like they shouldn't believe them. Quantum football, I think that what will happen is he'll say something vague. He'll have no evidence, just like everyone else. And then they'll make a big stink about it, and they'll say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They won't have anything. They will not have anything. You know what? I will do a segment on this. Democrats are going to destroy his campaign. And so I won't even read the crazy things he wrote, but so rather than criticize Sanders for something he wrote, okay, until I see something. Okay, so what has Sanders' campaign said? The Sanders campaign quickly tried to distance itself and the candidate from the 43-year-old essay. Campaign spokesman Michael Briggs called the essay a dumb attempt at dark satire in an alternative publication. He added it was intended to attack, here we go, attack gender stereotypes of the 70s, but it looks as stupid today as it was then. So what does this say about Sanders' attitude towards women? So obviously, So Charles C.W. Cook actually wrote a great, it's from the National Review. Nobody honestly believes that Bernie is, a bad person. He is a misogynist. But see, that's the thing. Nobody really, there's only one reason that anyone would make hay of this story, and that is to damage the man politically. And that's what's going to happen. See, Bernie Sanders is not a bad human being. He just played ball with really despicable people. But they're going to completely sabotage his campaign. And what will happen is, once Twitter is at its peak right now in terms of, well, perhaps it's descending, but it's still close to its peak right now in terms of, or maybe it'll hit another peak this election cycle. And I think that once Democrats lose again, which they will, they'll take social media down with them. Because you'll have millions of people saying, wait a second, I've been on social media, fighting the good fight for for the resistance, and all I got was another Trump presidency. But once these, and I won't read them because they're nuts, but once these satirical, whatever, fictional essays, this essay is shared on social media again, or I don't even know if it ever was, but once Clinton operatives make this a thing, his campaign's done. That's how insidious they are. They won't care about Medicare for all. Democrats have always utilized Bernie Sanders simply to prop up the Democratic Party, because there would have been a fracture that Democrats could not recover from. Had Bernie simply said, I'm taking all of these voters with me, and if you don't implement Medicare for all, they'll never come back to you, they would have passed the Medicare for all bill in the House. Now, he didn't do that. And on some level, I really don't blame him, because that would have been a lot of heartache. But it would have been the right thing to do, especially if you claim to fight the 1%. So yeah, I'll do a segment on this. I mean, there are other things also. I mean, they're going to go after him once I think he might win Iowa. He could win Iowa. He could not win Iowa. If he doesn't win Iowa, his campaign's done. If he wins Iowa, they're going to tear him apart with a vengeance, because Democrats are insidious. And Bernie made his bed with these people. He got in bed with these people. It's like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. Come on in. The covers are so warm. So, goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, let's just continue here. I will be doing a segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel regarding that right after this segment. So, let's just look right here. So, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders leads the Iowa poll for the first time. And Donald Trump is starting to fixate on Bernie Sanders. No, he doesn't care either way. Bernie Sanders' response to Colorado Capitol. They deserve to be applauded. All right. My God, this is like, he's going to become like a sacrificial lamb. And what's going to happen is, once he wins, Democrats will see him as such a threat. He won't be able to defeat Trump. Not this year. In 2016, he would have. I would have been right about that, but thank God I wasn't. Thank God Trump. 5 million people lifted out of poverty. Wouldn't have happened with Bernie. Sanders jumps to a small lead in major Iowa poll. If he wins Iowa, they are going to do everything possible to tear apart his campaign. To tear apart his campaign. All right, who's second? Oh, so I think Pete Buttigieg could win. Warren's at 17. Biden. Once Biden loses Iowa, oh my God, Madam Secretary, Doc BBC. Obama already signaled. Exactly. I want to hear Mitch H.A. McConnell give his condolences.
Bernie, I'm so sorry that the Democrats won't let you compete. There's always room in the Republican Party for you, Bernie. You'll just have to do away with most of what you believe. Or at least some of what you believe. So sorry, Bernie. I wish you could achieve all the wonderful achievements of President Trump. Lowering poverty, bringing home Americans, presiding over peace between North and South Korea. But the Democrats cheated you and you did nothing. Sorry.
Doc BBC. TDK74, thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. All right. Let's just a couple more minutes. This is just interesting for me. This is just really interesting for me. I can't get out that little. I think Trump is fantastic. I'm voting for him in 2020, and I think he's amazing. And it's not that I agree with Bernie Sanders and how he's conducted himself the past couple of years promoting intelligence community hoaxes, but I feel bad for the guy. I do feel bad because I know that deep down he is a good human being. And I feel bad that he's going to have to be he is swimming with piranha, great white sharks, and electric eels. And he's swimming in a pool where he's trying to get to the other end. And all of these dangerous sea creatures are in his way, and they're pretending that they're going to allow him to get to the other side. But that's not the case. And he's literally jumped into a situation where not only can he not win, not only did they cheat him, but they're going to tarnish his name. So, best thing to ever happen to Bernie is if he doesn't win Iowa. If he wins Iowa, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Carl's Opinion, everybody, thank you so very, very much. Have a great, great evening, everyone. God bless. To my super chat, thank you. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. I have promised, ladies and gentlemen, every single segment I do on this channel, I will do a different segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel. So this is my third today on this channel. I'll do 3. I'll do my third on H.A. Goodman's other channel in a moment. Check out that channel right now. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great, great evening and morning, and God bless. Thank you.